Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today. You know, if you've spent any time at all around the software development world, you've undoubtedly heard two words tossed around constantly: Git and GitHub. Today, we're going to definitively untangle these two tools for you. We're going to break down exactly what they are, how they differ, and most importantly, how they actually work together in the real world to build the software that we use every single day. Now, if you're just starting out, it's incredibly common to look at these two names, Git and GitHub, and just assume they're the exact same thing, or at least interchangeable terms for the same exact program. I mean, they share the same first name. It's a classic beginner assumption, and honestly, if you've ever been confused by this, you are in great company.
But to put it simply, no, they are absolutely not the same thing. Actually, scratch that. They're completely different entities performing totally different functions, and they aren't even owned by the same company. But don't worry, because they complement each other perfectly. They were quite literally made for one another.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover the great developer mix-up. Then, we'll look at Git for local version control, followed by GitHub as a cloud collaboration platform. After that, we'll put them in the ultimate head-to-head comparison. And finally, we'll see them working together in reality.
So let's kick things off with Section 1, the great developer mix-up, single versus network.
To really separate these two in your mind, we kind of need a core analogy. While both deal with source code management, which is just a fancy way of saying they help you track changes to your software over time, they operate on completely different scales. I want you to think of Git as a single computer sitting on your desk. It's solitary. GitHub, on the other hand, is the sprawling global network connecting thousands of those computers together. They absolutely share the same end goal of managing code, but they play wildly different roles in getting you there.
Moving right along to Section 2, Git. Local version control, the command line powerhouse. All right, so what exactly is Git? Basically, Git is a distributed version control system, or DVCS for short. It's free, open-source software that you install directly on your own laptop or desktop to track the history of your code. The real magic word here is distributed. That means every single developer working on a project gets a full, complete copy of its entire history right there on their own decentralized local machine. And because it's local, you don't even need Wi-Fi to do your primary work.
It was originally built with three absolute core objectives in mind: speed and efficiency, incredible data integrity, and support for distributed, non-linear workflows. What does that mean in plain English? It means you and a coworker can work on completely different features of an app at the exact same time without accidentally overriding each other's hard work. You just control it by typing simple text commands like commit or merge. It is so unbelievably robust and bulletproof that tech giants like Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft rely on it to keep their massive projects from just totally collapsing.
Let's switch gears and look at Section 3, GitHub, cloud collaboration platform to social coding hub. Now, if Git is your solitary desk, you can think of GitHub as the bustling digital office. It's a cloud-based service designed specifically to host those local Git repositories. It massively upgrades the experience by giving you a visual, click-friendly graphical user interface, meaning you can actually click buttons instead of typing out text commands, and it brings in these huge social collaboration tools. Through features like pull requests, developers can essentially submit a rough draft of their code for their peers to review, discuss, and approve before it goes live.
GitHub really supports the whole shebang, the entire lifespan of your software. Imagine you've got this killer idea for a new feature. Well, first you plan it by tracking issues. You create the code locally and send it up to the cloud. Then your team steps in to review it. From there, GitHub can automatically test your code for bugs, deploy it to the public, and even help you operate it long-term. It's basically an entire ecosystem built entirely around the raw code that Git manages.
Now for Section 4, the ultimate head-to-head, boundaries and trivia.
Now, what's really interesting here is some surprising trivia. Git was actually created way back in 2005 by Linus Torvalds. He's the legendary creator of Linux, and he reportedly built it just because he was angry at an existing version control system. GitHub didn't even launch until 3 years later, in 2008, as a totally separate startup. Today, Git remains this pure open-source tool maintained by the Linux Foundation. GitHub, on the other hand, was famously bought out by Microsoft in 2018 for over $7 billion. So, one is a local text tool, and the other is a visual cloud platform. And because they serve such totally different purposes, they have entirely different competitors too. Git actually has zero built-in user management. It literally just tracks the code locally,
which means it competes with older version control tools like SVN or Mercurial. GitHub, however, provides enterprise-level role-based access control. It lets you decide exactly who can view a project, who can edit it, or who gets to be an admin. Because of that, it battles it out in the software as a service space against other cloud hosting platforms like GitLab and Bitbucket.
All right, let's bring it all together in Section 5, working together in reality, the ultimate team-up.
Let's move to and see how this builds in the real world. Just imagine you and a friend are building a website together. First, step 1. You download and install Git on your laptop to start tracking your local code. Step 2, you go and create a user account on GitHub. Step 3, you set up a blank repository up there in the cloud. Now step 4, this is the magic link. You literally type a command called git push on your computer, which blasts your saved code straight up to GitHub. And finally, step 5, when your friend makes their own edits and pushes them up, you just use the git pull command to sync all their updates right back down to your local machine. It's this continuous, really beautiful cycle of pushing and pulling.
So, the absolutely crucial point I want you to take away today is this. Git can be used without GitHub, but GitHub cannot be used without Git. You can use Git on your laptop privately forever, totally offline, no problem. But GitHub, its entire existence relies on hosting the architecture that Git provides. Without that open source engine of Git running beneath it, GitHub literally wouldn't function.
And this brings us to a really fascinating final thought. We've mastered the basics here, right? We get local version control, we understand cloud collaboration, but you know the tech landscape is always shifting. With incredible AI tools like GitHub Copilot now actively helping developers write, understand, and debug code way faster than ever before, how are the roles of Git and GitHub going to evolve next? Will we even need to manually type git push a few years from now? Or will our AI agents just handle the entire version control lifecycle for us? It's definitely a thrilling question to ponder as you continue your coding journey. Keep exploring, keep building, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.